Hello, welcome to the Moon Scarab channel. My name is Ramon. On this video, we will explore the meaning of all 78 cards from the tarot. The purpose of this video is to make it easier to you by providing on a single video the essentials of what you need to understand to get started with reading the cards. You will see an explanation of what is depicted on each card. This is important because each tarot card is full of many details which are part of each message. I will also provide you with a group of meaningful keywords to the upright and reverse position on each card. You will see a zodiac correspondence, element, and numerology value. Once you understand the system, it's real easy. We all have the potential and skill to tap into the divine realm. It's just a matter of learning, applying what you learn, and believing with all your heart in what you do. Let's get started.
Card 0. The Fool. The Fool is card number 0. It's usually considered the first card of the tarot, but it's not part of the numerical sequence of the 22 major arcana. The Fool doesn't have a specific place in the order of the tarot cards. It can be placed either at the beginning of the major arcana or at the end. The major arcana is often considered the Fool's journey through the different aspects of life, portrayed on the rest of the 21 major arcana cards. 0 is the number of unlimited potential. On this card, a young man walks into the world. He looks joyful, excited, and intoxicated with a sense of freedom. He's ready to jump into the world, but he's standing on the edge of a cliff as he sets out on his adventure. He is looking upwards the sky and apparently unaware that he's about to skip off a cliff. He has over his shoulder a small sack with everything he needs. He's holding a white rose on his left hand, symbolizing his purity and innocence. And at his feet is a small white dog, symbolizing loyalty and protection that seems to either warn him of the danger ahead or encouraging him to go forward. We can see mountains behind, symbolizing challenges to come. But the Fool doesn't care about them right now. He's focused on starting his new journey. He doesn't see the dangers and risks ahead, and honestly, he doesn't even care. He wants to walk into the full potential of all possibilities ahead. The Fool is a card representing new beginnings, opportunities, great potential, and taking a leap of faith. This is Uranus energy. In astrology, Uranus is an eccentric planet known for dynamic changes, rebellion, and innovation. This card is all about taking a leap of faith into the unknown. It's an innocent, naive, fresh blank slate. It's a fresh energy. To see the Fool generally means the start of a new journey, one where you might have no idea where it's heading to, but a step with faith in the process. This card is urging you to follow your dreams, to take that leap of faith, no matter how foolish it seems. It means that it's time to trust where the universe is taking you, and just do it. Now, in reverse, when the Fool card appears in reverse in a tarot reading, it symbolizes a bad decision, indecision, apathy, hesitation, and a faulty choice. It can be also a new beginning, but one that you're not really thrilled about. Major Arcana 1. The Magician. Card number 1 is called the Magician. 1 represents beginnings and the starting point of creation. This card is all about manifestations. The main figure is depicted with one hand pointed towards the sky, the universe, and the other hand points to the ground, down to earth, like saying, as above, so below. It shows that he's connected to both the spiritual and physical worlds. On the table in front of him, there are 4 symbols of the tarot suits: a cup, a pentacle, a sword, and a wand, each symbolizing 4 elements: water, earth, air, and fire. This is also a sign that he has all the tools he needs to manifest his intentions. Above his head is the infinity symbol, and around his waist, a snake biting its own tail. Both signs of a limited potential. And in the foreground, we see foliage and flowers, symbols of the blossoming of his ideas and aspirations. When you get the Magician in your reading, it's saying that it's time to tap into your full potential. The Magician is a sign that you have all the skills and abilities you need to be successful. It's a sign about bringing into action the things that you want, because you have the tools and potential to do so. This is Mercury energy, which is about rationalizing, quick thinking, possibilities, and the ability to reason things. In reverse, the Magician can suggest something or someone who's a trickster, that you're under the illusion of something not real, something deceitful. Major Arcana Card 2. The High Priestess. Card 2 is a High Priestess. She's the guardian of the subconscious mind and your intuition. On this card, the High Priestess sits in front of a thin veil decorated with pomegranates. The veil symbolizes the separate conscious and subconscious worlds, the seen and the unseen. The pomegranates are a symbol of abundance and fertility. On either side of the High Priestess stands two pillars, Yachin and Boaz. On the right, generally referred to as the pillar of establishment, and on the left is the pillar of strength. The pillars also depict the duality of nature, good and evil, negative and positive, darkness and light. The High Priestess wears a blue robe with a cross on her chest and crown, both a symbol of divine knowledge. In her lap, she holds a scroll partially covered, signifying that this sacred knowledge is both explicit and implicit. The crescent moon at her feet symbolizes her connection with the divine feminine, her intuition, and subconscious mind, and the natural cycles of the moon. The moon symbolizes secrets and things hidden. When the High Priestess appears in a tarot reading, it indicates that you should trust your instincts and go with your gut feeling, your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams, to the signs and symbols the universe is sending you when this card appears in your reading. The answers you are seeking will come from within, from the deepest truth and knowing. You just know the answer. Listen to your inner voice. This is moon energy, which is linked to the divine feminine and our emotional side. The central message of this card is listen to your inner voice. In the reverse position, this card shows that you are not hearing your inner voice. You may be more focused on external factors or other opinions rather than your inner wisdom. It can also indicate that you are neglecting your own spiritual needs. You need to take time to connect with yourself and trust yourself to channel your inner voice. You have access to the wisdom and knowledge you need. Major Arcana 3, the Empress. The Empress card shows a beautiful woman sitting on a throne with an air of peace and tranquility around her. On her head, she's wearing a crown with 12 stars. These stars indicate her divine status and the cycles of the natural world, 12 months, 12 signs of the zodiac, etc. She has a pomegranate patterned robe representing fertility, and she's sitting on cushions embroidered with a Venus sign, symbolic for love, harmony, creativity, beauty, and grace. There's beautiful and abundant nature surrounding her, showing the connection of the Empress with Mother Earth and life itself. The golden wheat springs depicted in the foreground reflects abundance. The Empress card represents abundance and unconditional love. This is a beautiful, strong, feminine energy card that invites you to nurture. Depending on what you seek, it can be nurturing yourself, people around you, plans, or ideas. It's a strong indicator of prosperity and abundance. She is beauty, abundance, and nature all around us, but also within us, the source of life-giving power. The Empress is most associated with the goddess Venus, and it's linked with fertility and Mother Nature. She is a comforting presence in any reading and can symbolize a time when you will receive an abundance which promise to nurture you. This could be love or material things. The Empress is also a strong indication of pregnancy or birth as well, depending on the cards she's paired with. It can be an actual pregnancy or childbirth, but also a metaphorical birth of a new idea, business, or a project. The Empress assures you that if you nurture and support those new ideas with compassion and love, they will manifest successfully. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor. The Emperor card represents the father figure of the entire tarot deck, and it's card number 4 in the Major Arcana. In this card, we see the Emperor as a ruler in his throne, adorned with the heads of 4 rams, representing his energy, the astrological sign of Aries. In one hand, he carries a scepter, and in the other, an orb, symbolizing the universe over which he reigns. Behind him, mountains, representing his determination, his ambition for greater heights, and his leadership capability. The Emperor rules with stern strength and force. The Emperor card represents rules and regulations. It's all about control, authority, regulation, and logic. The Emperor calls on you to be disciplined, efficient, and persistent when it comes to getting what you want. The Emperor is a solid, stable character. He's a grounded protector, but he also can be rigid and stubborn. The Emperor card represents the dominance of logic over emotion and of the mind over the heart. This card reminds you that concentration, structure, stability, and focus are required if you want to make your vision a reality. Major Arcana card number 5, the Hierophant. The Hierophant tarot card serves as the masculine counterpart of the High Priestess. It's card 5 of the Major Arcana, and its energy is governed by Taurus. The Hierophant can be a little confusing for those just starting out in tarot because the word Hierophant is not something we use in the modern language. Hierophant is an old word also meaning pope, cardinal, bishop, or any other religious leader. The Hierophant card portrays a religious figure sitting between two pillars. In his left hand, he holds a papal cross representing his religious status. He raises his right hand in a religious blessing, with two fingers pointing towards heaven and two towards earth. The Hierophant is a symbol of traditional values and deep importance of spirituality and traditions in life. The Hierophant is closely tied to religious institutions and their influence on your life. People had different feelings towards the appearance of the Hierophant. Despite his depiction, this card doesn't exclusively apply to Christianity. It also represents any religious denomination, cultural, or long-standing institution influencing your life. If the Hierophant shows up in your reading, examine how these institutions are influencing your situation, either for good or bad. When it comes to problem solving, this card can be asking you to take a more traditional approach. Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. The Lovers card is card number 6 of the Major Arcana and mainly represents love, relationships, and major decisions regarding soulmate situations. The Lovers card shows a man and a woman standing in a beautiful, fertile landscape. Behind the woman stands a tall fruit tree with a snake winding its way up the trunk. The couple is beneath an angel above. Behind the man is a tree of 12 flames. The serpent and the fruit tree represent the temptation of pleasures that may take your focus away from the divine. The tree of flames represents passion. The man looks to the woman who watches the angel, showing the path from physical desire to emotional needs to spiritual concerns. The volcanic mountain represents the eruption of passion. Ruled by Gemini in its purest form, the Lover's card represents conscious connections, meaningful relationships, and choice, and typically about romantic relationships. In a tarot reading, it shows that you have a beautiful soul connection with a loved one and the energy between you both is meaningful. It can also represent a close friendship or family relationship where there's abundant love and respect. The Lovers is a card of open communication and raw honesty. It's Gemini energy. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, the planet of communication. The couple is naked, so they are willing to be in their most vulnerable and learn to share their truest feelings. In essence, the Lovers is about balance and duality. Being Gemini energy, it encourages you to unify two parts that are in opposition to one another and create something that is whole, unified, and harmonious. In every choice, there's advantages and disadvantages, opportunity and challenge, positive and negative. When you accept these dualities, you build the unity from which love and balance flows. Major Arcana 7, the Chariot. The Chariot is linked to the Cancer zodiac sign. This card shows a warrior standing inside a chariot. Although he appears to be driving the chariot, he holds no reins, symbolizing control through the strength of his will and mind. Above his head is a canopy of 6 pointed stars, suggesting his connection to the celestial world and the divine. In front of the vehicle sits a black and white sphinx, representing duality, positive and negative, and opposing forces. The sphinxes seem to be pulling in opposite directions, but he uses his willpower to steer the chariot forward in the direction he wants. Behind the chariot flows a wide river, symbolic of the need to leave behind the unstable flow of emotions and charging ahead towards your goals and intentions. The Chariot is a card of encouragement to use your willpower, of direction, of things moving forward with determination and strength. It's all about overcoming challenges and gaining victory through maintaining control of your surroundings. When the Chariot appears in a tarot reading, take it as a sign of encouragement by defining your objectives and channeling your inner power with dedication to make them happen. In a very literal sense, the Chariot can also represent a sign of future travel plans, sometimes even driving or taking a road trip. Major Arcana 8, Strength. In Tarot card 8, Strength, a woman gently strokes a lion on its forehead and jaw. She stares at the lion with a smile on her face as she has tamed the beast with her calming, loving energy. The woman wears a white robe showing her purity of spirit and a belt and crown of flowers that represents nature. Over her head is the symbol of infinity, just like in the card of the Magician, representing infinite potential and wisdom. This card is Leo energy, a sign of fire. The lion is a symbol of raw passions and desires, and in taming him, the woman shows that our animal instincts and raw passions can be expressed in positive ways when inner strength and resilience are applied. She doesn't use physical force, but uses her inner strength to subdue the lion. The Strength card represents strength, determination, and power. As the Chariot channels our outer strength and will, the Strength card channels our inner force to overcome and endure obstacles. When the Strength card appears in a reading, you are fueled by your inner strength, personal power, strong will, and determination. You do not rule by trying to control others. You influence and persuade. You can control situations without excessive outward force. Be aware of your needs and tame them into balance with the greater good. Nothing good comes out of acting in blind rage or hatred. Handle your situations from a place of inner power, wisdom, and compassion. Major Arcana Card 9, the Hermit. In this card 9, the Hermit depicts an old man standing alone at the peak of a snow-covered mountain. He's holding a lantern with a 6-pointed star inside in one hand and on the other a staff. The lamp lights his way, but only his next few steps rather than the full journey. He must step forward to see where he goes next, knowing that not everything will be revealed at once. In his left hand, the side of the subconscious mind holds the long staff, which he uses to guide and balance him. The Hermit is a seeker of his inner voice and self-reflection through moments of solitude. This card is about introspection. The Hermit card generally suggests the need for a period of soul-searching, self-reflection, and the need for spiritual enlightenment. It's suggesting you to take a break from everyday life to draw your energy and attention inwards and find the answers you seek deep within your soul. The Hermit can also indicate isolating yourself or withdrawing to recover from a difficult situation. Sometimes, to hear your inner voice, you must disconnect and walk through the dark night of your life journey, only with yourself. The Hermit often appears when you are at a crossroad in your life and contemplating a new direction. Through meditation and self-examination, you can begin to reevaluate your personal goals and change your path. You will look at your life with a deeper, more spiritual understanding, and a few of your priorities will change as a result. Major Arcana Card 10, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune card shows a wheel covered in symbols, with 3 figures on the outer edges. 4 Hebrew letters are inscribed on the wheel's face. There are also the letters T-O-R-A on the wheel, thought to be a version of the word Torah, meaning law, or Tarot, or even Rota, R-O-T-A, Latin for wheel. No one knows for sure. The middle wheel has the alchemical symbols for mercury, sulfur, water, and salt, the building blocks of life. On the outer circle is a snake, the god Typhon, descending on the left side. On the right side rises Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, who welcomes souls to the underworld. And on top of the wheel sits the Sphinx, representing knowledge and strength. In the corners of the Wheel of Fortune card are 4 winged creatures, each associated with the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. The angel is Aquarius, the eagle is Scorpio, the lion is Leo, and the bull is Taurus. Each holds the Torah, representing wisdom. The Wheel of Fortune is essentially the wheel of life, which is in a state of constant change. No matter what happens, the wheel will keep turning and keep throwing lessons our way. We can't truly know what's coming next. We need to let go of the wheel and allow the universe to take us where we need to be. Jupiter, the planet that corresponds to the Wheel of Fortune tarot card, is a planet of growth, expansion, healing, prosperity, and good fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also known as the Wheel of Karma and reminds you that what goes around comes around. Factors outside your control are influencing your situation. This card can show a critical turning point in your life. You can't control the powers of the universe, but you can definitely grow your understanding of your role in this life and the universe. Remember that there is nothing to fear. Everything will work out according to divine intervention and timing. Justice. Justice is typically the 11th card of the Major Arcana, although it can be card 8th in other tarot decks. The Justice Tarot card depicts a figure sitting between 2 pillars, just like what we see in the Hierophant and the High Priestess tarot cards. The 2 pillars symbolize her authority, balance, and power. Between the 2 pillars, a boundary has been created with a cloth veil. The figure's crown represents her power and authority in decision-making. The sword she carries indicates her ability to take firm action and final decisions. The scales represent her balance and firm decisions. A little white shoe pops out from beneath her clothing as a reminder of the spiritual consequences of your actions. The Justice card is about fairness, doing and giving what's right, cause and effect, as well as balanced thought and action. Furthermore, this is a card about karma and justice being served. The right or wrong made will be reciprocated. What goes around comes around. Sometimes the Justice card indicates a complex or difficult decision that needs to be made. Justice represents clear, logical decisions. This card can also suggest having to deal with legal matters itself. And at the end, it's all about clarity, truth, balance, and fairness. Major Arcana card 12, the Hangman. The Hangman shows a man suspended upside down from a tree. Despite the uncomfortable position, the Hangman appears to be relaxed, viewing the world from a completely different perspective. His facial expression is calm and serene, so it seems that he's in this position by his own choice. He has a halo around his head, symbolizing enlightenment. His right foot is bound to the tree, but his left foot remains free, bent at the knee and tucked behind his right leg. His arms are bent, with hands behind his back. The Hangman can represent a period of total stillness. Listen again. Total stillness and contemplation. This card is a very spiritual card. It's acknowledging a new spiritual awakening. This card can also suggest an apparent state of limbo on a situation. More will be revealed, but for now, this card suggests a period of contemplation and endurance. Often, this card will show up during a time where you must wait before answers reveal themselves. Sometimes it's an uncomfortable position to be in, but the Hangman's relaxed manner, in the face of being turned upside down, is a challenge to find a way to cope with the process. The Hangman is deeply connected to insights and new perspectives. It can be a call for an alternate approach to a problem. The bright aura of enlightenment around the figure's head suggests that this temporary, uncomfortable perspective is worthwhile to receive the truths that will be revealed. Your enlightened awareness can give you a new perspective on the matter. Similarly, this card can represent a state of being between two worlds. This is Neptune energy. In astrology, Neptune is the psychic planet of ideas, intuition, spirituality, and compassion. It's the domain of dreams and delusions. Just because it feels difficult, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong. Major Arcana card 13. Death. On this card, an armored skeleton rides a white horse. It's the personification of death. It appears before a crowd holding a white flag with a rose. In the foreground, a king has fallen underfoot with his crown knocked over. A bishop prays for mercy. Another figure in the chaotic scene turns away from death, having possibly fainted. A small child looks directly at the rider. Beyond the dramatic scene, on the background, there's a ship sailing peacefully in the river behind the chaos. Life moves on as usual. The sun rises beyond the outer bounds of the city. This day will end and another one will begin. The sun beyond the city pillars suggests a transition into a new passage of life. The Death card is probably the most feared and misunderstood of the cards in the tarot deck. It's a card about endings, passages, transformation, initiation, and changes. It can actually be one of the most positive cards in the deck. After a period of pause and reflection with the Hangman, the Death card symbolizes the end of a major phase in your life that's no longer serving you. You must close one door to open another. It shows a time of significant transformation, change, and transition. You need to transform and clear away the old to bring in the new. Any change should be welcome as a positive, cleansing, transformational force in your life. Also, in a literal sense, death can also mean death, but the essence of the card has elements of a sudden and unexpected change. As a symbol of beauty, purity, and immortality, the black flag in the Death card is adorned with a 5-petal white rose. Number 5 in this context indicates change and transformation. The combination of these symbols reveals that death is more than just the end of a person's life. Death is always followed by new beginnings, fresh starts, rebirth, and transformations. This is a very positive card, so don't be scared about it. Major Arcana 14, Temperance. The Temperance card shows a large angel with wings outstretched who pours water from one cup into another. The figure stands with one foot on the ground and the other foot dips into the water, representing the need to stay grounded and the need to be in flow. In the background, there is a winding path up to a mountain range, reflecting the journey through life. Above the mountains hovers a golden crown encased in a glowing light, a symbol of taking the higher path and staying true to one's life purpose and meaning. Temperance is the card of bringing balance, patience, and moderation into your life. You're being invited to stabilize your energy and allow life to flow through you without force or resistance. It's time to recover your flow and get your life back into order and balance. This is Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius energy manifests through enlightenment and truth-seeking. There is alchemy with Temperance. This card is about blending, mixing, and combining diverse elements in a way that creates something new. There is an important lesson to be learned from the Temperance card. Things will always be in and out of balance. The process of balancing yourself is something you should always cultivate. This is an angel card as well. Higher forces of guardians are helping you to keep things in balance. Finally, this card can also represent a time of calm and harmony. Major Arcana 15, the Devil. The Devil card is the 15th card of the Tarot's Major Arcana. It represents the material world, control, subjugation, and temptation. A horned figure crouches on a stone pillar. His appearance can be linked to the devil, a satyr, the Greek god Pan, or the occult representation of Baphomet. He has a white inverted pentagram between his horns. The devil holds up his right hand as if to stop the viewer, while his left hand holds a torch downwards. Below the figure are a man and a woman, both naked and chained to the podium on which the devil sits. They appear to be held against their will, but if you look closer, you will notice that the chains around their necks are loose and could be easily removed. Each has small horns on their head, like the devil's. These figures are mirrored to the lover's card imagery. The woman's tail is a cluster of grapes, which suggests the forbidden fruit of the Garden of Eden, temptation, and alcohol. The man's tail is a burning flame, lit by the devil's torch, suggesting uncontrolled passion or anger. The darkness that surrounds these figures suggests that this scene is playing out in a dark, hidden place. This is a very toxic energy. Along with controlling, it can represent feeling trapped, but trapped willingly, because they can easily break away from the chain. The Devil card represents a negative force that constrain you and hold you back from being the best version of yourself. Just as the Lover's card speaks to duality and choice, so too does the Devil. It often appears when you have been tricked into the false illusion that you have no control over those negative forces and that you can never break free from them. Unhealthy attachments can turn into an unhealthy dependence on people or things if you lose the connection with your inner guidance or don't protect your emotional boundaries. The message of this card is, you can break free from any negative and toxic energy surrounding you. Major Arcana 16, the Tower. The Tower represents a sudden change that shakes your foundations. On a dark night, lightning strikes on a stone tower on top of a rocky mountain, sending two people into a free fall, head first and arms outstretched. The building begins to be consumed by flames. The tower represents change in the most radical and momentous sense. It is for this reason that the card itself visually looks so unnerving. At the heart of this card, its message is foundational, groundbreaking change. When the Tower card is upright in a tarot reading, it represents a sudden, massive change. You will have to abandon the past, maybe go through a period of upheaval, but you can take advantage of the catastrophe to build something better where your old tower stood. The kind of event that the Tower card marks does not have to be something terrible, like a disaster or a great loss. Change itself is a normal part of life that one has to embrace, but it can sometimes strike fear because it means that we must abandon the truths that we have known prior to this event. This is Mars energy. Mars is the planet of our desires, actions, energy, passion, war, aggression, and assertion. The central idea is expect the unexpected because massive change is shifting your way. Major Arcana 17. The Star. The Star Tarot card comes to us in times to remind us of who we are and to have faith. It is perhaps the most comforting and encouraging card in the entire tarot deck. A naked woman kneels by the water. One foot is in the water and the other foot is on the land. Above her head is one large star and 7 smaller stars surrounding it. In each hand, she holds a jug. From one jug, she pours liquid into the water, and from the other jug, she pours liquid onto the land. The star embodies positivity, hope, change, exciting opportunities in the future, and renewed faith. In this way, the Star Tarot card brings about a sense of serenity and tranquility. You are entering a peaceful, loving phase in your life, filled with calm energy, mental stability, and more in-depth understanding of both yourself and others around you. The star brings renewed hope and faith, and a sense that you are truly blessed by the universe. This is Aquarius energy, which is connecting and inviting. The ultimate message of the star is to have faith, steady the course, and keep hope. Major Arcana 18th, the Moon. This card depicts a night scene, a long robe with the moon shining on it. Two large pillows are shown. A wolf and a domesticated dog howl at the moon, while a crayfish emerges from the water. The moon is a card of illusion and deception, and therefore often suggests a time when something is not as it appears to be. Perhaps a misunderstanding on your part, or a truth that can't reveal itself. These creatures personify our animalistic nature. The dog represents our domestic, docile side, and the wolf shows our wild side. Arising from the water, we see a crawfish crawling up the path, symbolizing us humans who are about to set out on a long way towards an uncertain destination. The moon shines its light down to guide down the path. The towers signify positive and negative forces and our struggle to distinguish between good and evil. The moon also represents secrets and illusions. There might be a hidden truth in your life and you need to uncover it. The moon cautions you from accepting what seems to be. It may be a time to dig a little deeper and allow the light to shine upon the false notions in your life. The moon is a warning in a sense. You are the crawfish rising from the sea. If you trust your intuition and push forward, you will receive deliverance from what blinds you. Major Arcana 19, the Sun. A happy child stretches his arms. He is sitting atop a white horse, and behind the child is a garden wall and a field of sunflowers. The child's head is also adorned with a sunflower crown. Sunflowers traditionally symbolize happiness and hope. The sun itself shines above the scene. The sun is a symbol of illumination, happiness, hope, and positivity. The child represents the joy of being connected with your inner spirit, and his nakedness is a sign he has nothing to hide and has all the innocence and purity of childhood. The white horse is also a sign of purity and strength. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the tarot. If you are looking for a clear yes, this is it. The Sun card, it represents happiness and joy. It's about success, good luck, and things going your way. The sun is a life force that beams down and blesses all it touches with warmth. It encourages growth and brings things to life. There is so much positive energy in this card, it's beaming with it. This is also a good indicator card for mental and physical health. It's a card of vigor, vitality, and feeling younger again. It represents recovery from setbacks. This is a beautiful card to appear in readings. The sun is also an energetic card. It reflects a time when you can expect to experience an increase in physical energy, vitality, and general positivity. You're bursting with enthusiasm, invigorated, and enjoying a wonderful sense of good health. Spiritually, the sun represents enlightenment. Major Arcana 20, Judgment. The Judgment card shows the dead rising from their graves with arms outspread and looking up into the sky. Above, an angel blows his trumpet. The people respond to his call, ready to be judged. In the background is an extensive mountain range. The Judgment card is a powerful card of spiritual transformation. Like the Justice card is a card about karma. It's relief from a difficult journey. When the Judgment card shows up in a reading, it can signal a spiritual awakening or a time of profound insight. This is Pluto energy, named after the Roman god of the underworld, also known as Hades in Greek mythology. Pluto is a planet of intensity, destruction, transformation, and rebirth. Plutonian energy is very dramatic, with painful experiences, in order to shed light on truth and bring us incredibly profound growth. Pluto can provide tremendous opportunities for renewal, new beginnings, and spiritual growth. An upright judgment card in a reading often suggests introspection and self-assessment of your past and current behavior to make a life-changing decision. This card indicates that your past is done and over with, and now is the time to make use of what you learned from your mistakes. You have reviewed and evaluated your past experiences and have learned from them. Major Arcana 21, the World. The World is card 21 and the final of the Major Arcana. It's a symbol of fulfillment. A naked woman hovers or dances above, holding a staff in each hand, surrounded by a wreath, being watched by 4 living creatures, a man, a lion, the bull, and an eagle. According to astrological tradition, the lion is Leo, a fire sign. The bull is Taurus, an earth sign. The man is Aquarius, an air sign. and the eagle is Scorpio, a water sign. These signs are the 4 fixed signs and represent the classical 4 elements. This card represents achievement, fulfillment, and completion. And now you are entering a phase of closure and accomplishment. However, the World card invites you to reflect on your journey, honor your achievements, and tune into your spiritual lessons. This is Saturn energy, which symbolizes maturity and structure. The World card is fulfillment, harmony, integration, and completion at its best. If there is any unfinished business, the World card urges you to finish it, to complete the full circle of what you're trying to achieve. New opportunities and possibilities can only emerge when you conclude your previous goals. Also, the World card is one of the travel cards of the major arcana. The World card, in a very literal sense, can mean that you will have the ability to travel very soon, most likely overseas. Regardless of the specifics, the universe is looking upon you with favor now, and you can manifest, achieve, and receive anything you desire. The Suit of Cups deals with emotions, love, intuition, feelings, connections, and psychic abilities. When a Cups card comes up in your tarot reading, take a closer look at your dreams, your heart, and your intuition. The Suit of Cups is associated with the element of water. The element of water is symbolic of fluidity, feelings, emotions, intuitions, relationships, healing, and cleansing. It's a feminine element, which is receptive but also adaptable, purifying, and flowing. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Hearts. Cups tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups shows a hand appearing out of a cloud, offering a chalice overflowing with 5 streams of water. These streams of water pour from the cup into the calm blue water below. A white dove brings a blessing from above. Lotus flowers are floating on top of the water below. The sky is clear. The Ace of Cups, like the other aces of the tarot, represents new beginnings, opportunities, and potential. And with cups, these new beginnings are related to the emotional world, love, intuition, feelings, connections, and psychic abilities. The Ace of Cups can indicate a burst of new emotions that may be overflowing. Water is the symbol of emotions. The cups represents the vessels of your subconscious mind. The dove is a symbol of love and peace. The 5 streams flowing out of the cup are the 5 senses we have. The water lilies represent growth and enlightenment and a powerful symbol of purity. The clear sky suggests a trouble-free time of peace and harmony. The hand holding the cup is the hand of the universe, offering blessings to you. The clouds here are the symbol of the divine. All aces are about possibilities, but it's up to you to accept it and to make the best of it. Do not take it for granted. It is the right time to get in touch with how you are feeling emotionally. The essence of this card is, be open to a new emotional and spiritual journey. This is about feeling good and attaining a higher level of connection with your soul. 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups illustrates a young man and woman exchanging cups. Above is the ancient symbol that depicts a winged staff with 2 snakes, called the caduceus of Hermes, which represents cosmic energy, protection, negotiation, trade, commerce, duality, and exchange. A lion's head, also known as chimera, is shown above with the caduceus, which represents passion and fire energy, which also governs this partnership. The image in the card is a sign of a strong and unique bond that is shared between 2 people in a relationship. To see the 2 cups is an indication of a harmonious partnership that is built on union of forces, a strong connection, balance, and equal partnership. These relationships can be based on love or just mutual goals. It's a powerful card when you are looking for healing, stability, and security in life. This card encourages balance in love, friendship, and relationships. The exchange of cups suggests that each party's emotions are intertwined with the others, and their feelings have profound effect on the other. Consider too that this can also suggest a partnership of 2 forces within you, a masculine and feminine energy imbalance, your rational and your emotional side, the heart and the mind, your intellect and your instincts. This card also features the caduceus of Hermes. Hermes is the messenger god and god of commerce and trade. This symbol has taken on medical and healing associations. Firstly, because Hermes was also the god of alchemy, therefore representing medications. It was also often confused with the staff of Asclepius many centuries ago, and in the medical world, the two symbols have been used interchangeably. Anyhow, that symbol has become the symbol for modern-day medicine and the medical profession. When this card turns up, especially in relation to health, it could be an indication to seek advice from a medical professional. Also, the Two of Cups is the minor arcana equivalent of the Lovers in many ways. The message of the card is that none of us gets to where we are by ourselves. We need an ally in this world, while at the same time keeping in mind that we are all equal in many levels. Three of Cups. The Three of Cups tarot card depicts three young women raising golden cups in the air in a toast of celebration and joy. Their expressions are joyful, and they seem to be dancing around one another in a circle. They have flower crowns around each head as a symbol of success and victory. At their feet are flowers, fruits, and a pumpkin, also symbolizing their current state of wealth, goodness in life, and abundance. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration, friendship, and creative collaborations. It points to all the benefits of harmonious relationships. Where the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups are focused on individual and one-on-one relationships, the Three of Cups is about being in a group. When the Three of Cups appears in a tarot reading, you're encouraged to gather with your closest friends to give and receive love, support, and the compassion each of you needs from one another. It invites you to examine your attachments to the groups in your life from an emotional point of view. Consider reaching out to give or receive help. This card stands for all forms of support. This can be merging forces for support or collaboration. In essence, this card is a card of celebration. It's the energy of good friends who love each other unconditionally, sharing a moment of sheer joy. Times are good when we have each other. The message of this card is, we give, we receive, we are supported, and we love each other for who we are. Four of Cups. This card depicts a man sitting in contemplation under a tree at the top of a mountain. His expression is gloom. He sits with his arms crossed and his head down, as if in meditation or deep thought. On the ground, directly in front of him, three gold cups. Next to him, a cloud offers a fourth cup. His deep state of meditation prevents him from noticing or caring about this offering. The man in this card appears to be in contemplation, lost in thought, or caught up in his own internal world. In this case, the three cups laid out before him possibly represent the emotional memories he holds within himself. Maybe he's not willing to let go of. He seems so disinterested in the cup being offered to him from a floating cloud, which seems to be the same we saw in the Ace of Cups. This hand is attempting to offer him the gift of a new experience, which holds the possibility for new happiness and satisfaction. But it seems that his attention remains focused on his internal world, so much that he rejects the gifts being offered. This card in the upright position is a sign of new opportunities flowing in your direction, but you're turning them away. It's possible these opportunities simply hold no interest to you, or that you're feeling so overwhelmed by what you already have that you are turning your attention and your energy internally to realign your life. While 4 is a number of stability, it can also represent a stagnant situation, often caused by inactivity or lack of action. The 4 of Cups represents our tendency to take things for granted. The universe continues to offer opportunities, but we don't always recognize them. Sometimes, this card brings the message, not now, but maybe later. While the man with the 4 cups doesn't accept the cups offered to him, he doesn't wholly reject them either. You may be waiting for a sign of further information before taking something new in your life. It's a warning that love and abundance in your life can slip away if not careful. There are great things all around, and yet it is not seen, realized, or appreciated. 5 of Cups. In the image of this card, we see a man draped in a long black cloak, his head down, facing away in an apparent gesture of grief and sadness. His head hangs in despair as he looks down at 3 overturned cups at his feet. These lay on the ground in front of him, with their contents spilled all over the ground. The man looks down at the ground, and there's a sense of regret here, indicating that he could possibly bear some responsibility for the losses he grieves. There's a total of 5 cups pictured in this card. There are 2 full cups standing behind the man, which he hasn't noticed. Because the person is so focused on the fallen cups, he fails to see the upright cups behind, representing balance, new opportunities, and potential. All that is needed is to turn around to see them. This card signifies not only loss, but the hope that yet remains after. This hope is also indicated by the symbol of the bridge, which rises in the distance. The bridge connects the man in his current situation to the future of which is still possible. The house we see on the left of the card tell us that when he is ready, there's potential for security. The Five of Cups often appears in a tarot reading when a situation hasn't turned out the way you expected, and you're sad, regretful, and disappointed. Instead of moving with your life, you are choosing to sink in self-pity. The Five of Cups suggests that you're stuck and can't let go. Old wounds and bitter memories flood your mind as you think about what happened. The Five of Cups encourages us to honor our emotions, our sadness, our disappointment, and our grief. However, it also challenges us the opposite too, asking us to recognize and acknowledge what remains. This is a reminder that when we focus on what we don't have, we miss out on the very real goodness that is available to us in ourselves, that remains to be discovered. Six of Cups. In this card, a boy hands a cup with a flower to a little girl. The girl looks up to the boy with love and respect as he offers the flowers to her. The scene is at an old country courtyard in what seems to be a medieval village. In the background stands a house or a castle. To the left of the card, a soldier or guard walks away into the distance. The card is happy and colorful. This image is the opposite of adult emotion and desire. The scene is a picture of innocence, pure, heartfelt, youthful love. The Six of Cups is the ultimate tarot card to represent a strong sense of nostalgia and memories. It also represents remembrance and positive thinking. The card has an overall feel of childhood and good memories. It embodies feeling free and pure and allowing your past experiences to guide you down to new paths. The adult figure walking away suggests letting go of the adult side for a while and enjoying the play and innocence of being in the moment. On a literal level, the card may also be referencing someone appearing from your past, an old friend from a simpler time in life. The Six of Cups is a card that is overflowing with love and nostalgia. This is also an opportunity to tell those close to you that you love and value them. The Six of Cups reminds us to channel our own inner child and nurture it. It's an invitation to engage in life's simple pleasures. At the end of the day, deep inside, we are still the same people we were during our own age of innocence. Seven of Cups. In the Seven of Cups, a figure stands before seven floating cups filled with various objects. Some cups carry desirable gifts, but others hold other darker objects. The Seven of Cups often shows up when there are many options available. It is a card of decisions, choices, and illusion. 7 is a spiritual number that may indicate fate or beliefs, while the Suit of Cups deals with emotions and intuition. In the case of the Seven of Cups, there are many different choices that could be pulling your attention away from what is most needed. It is a card of trusting your intuition to make the right choice and that there is more than meets the eye given the situation or question. With this, the Seven of Cups can also mean losing yourself in dangerous thoughts. At the end, this card is about making choices. The distraction of having too many choices or options leads to confusion and indecision. You may have many options on the table, but think and be patient before making a choice. Eight of Cups. In the Eight of Cups, a man walks away from 8 cups standing. The cups are arranged in a way that it looks like one is missing. The man has turned his back on these cups with a sense of loss and disappointment and walks away into the mountains. Nearby, a river and mountains. The moon in the night sky illuminates the path ahead. He disappears in the dark on a barren and unpaved road with only a robe on his back and a stick in his hand. The arrangement of the cups indicates as if one is missing, symbolizing the lack of emotional stability and fulfillment. This card suggests you sense that something is missing, particularly on an emotional or spiritual level, and instead of waiting around for things to get better, you leave that unfulfilling situation. It seems as if he has decided to try new paths. The Eight of Cups tarot card represents changing feelings towards certain aspects of your life and having a new perspective. It's abandonment and letting go. When this card turns up in a reading, you may want to walk away from a situation. Although it usually carries the meaning of disillusionment and abandonment, the Eight of Cups may indicate that while you feel like walking away from a situation, it's possible you might be returning. The cups will be there for you when you return. You might find them useful to you when you come back. The Eight of Cups invites you to ask yourself what brings you joy and fulfillment on a deeper level. Without it, you might be in a constant search of things that will fail to give you the satisfaction you're seeking. Another interesting meaning of the Eight of Cups may also indicate that you need to sober up. Don't waste your time on addictions on a physical, mental, or emotional level that are useless to you. Realize this and turn your back on these things. The Eight of Cups can also indicate travel, especially long travel plans. You might have a journey ahead of you. The Eight of Cups offers a gentle reminder that letting go and accepting what is can be a much easier and healthier alternative. However, go towards what brings you joy and fulfillment to your soul. Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups tarot card depicts a man sitting on a wooden bench with his arms crossed, smiling with an apparent sense of satisfaction. He is dressed in a long white robe and wears a red hat on his head. Above him, we see 9 cups arranged in a row like trophies. The Nine of Cups tarot card is about emotional fulfillment and happiness. When this card appears in a tarot reading, it suggests that you're satisfied with one or more aspects of your life, either material or spiritual. But it's simple satisfaction with what we have. It's number 9, not 10, as in this isn't total fulfillment. The Nine of Cups is often called the wish card because it comes as a sign that the 9th planet is aligned and you're close to getting everything you wish for. Notice that the person of the Nine of Cups is sitting on a wooden bench that is comfortable. This satisfaction is only temporary because everything is in constant change. 10 of Cups. The Ten of Cups tarot card depicts a family in the sunlight of a beautiful day. Above them is a rainbow adorned with 10 cups. The mother and father stand with their backs to us. They look towards a house on a hill with arms around each other. It's an image of love, union, and harmony. Their hands are raised as if to thank for all they have received. In the background, 2 children play happily another beautiful day together. The Ten of Cups embodies happiness, joy, and emotional stability in your relationships and family. It represents a sense of completion and alignment in your relationships with others. The family's home symbolizes stability and comfort. The grassy hills signify fertility, and the rivers mark the flow of emotion. The rainbow signals the end of a difficult time and a sign from the divine. This is a state of peace, harmony, and love where your dreams and wishes come true. It's a moment to step back and appreciate everything you accomplished and have, and be grateful for it. Page of Cups. The Page of Cups tarot card shows a young person standing on a seashore with a golden cup in his hand. This page is wearing a floral tunic and a matching beret with a long scarf. A fish comes out of the cup, locking eyes with the page on the card. The blue waves in the background symbolize the waves of emotions. When the Page of Cups appears in a tarot reading, it's suggesting that brilliant ideas can suddenly burst to the surface. They are not formed yet, but it's a spark, a surge for something new. This card suggests beginnings, opportunities, and possibilities. A symbol of imagination, the Page of Cups can indicate turning away from the storms of everyday life, focusing instead on quiet reflection and the inner self. The fish in this drawing represents the unexpected. Like the fish popping his head out of the cup in the page's hand, ideas can manifest when you least expect them. There's a creative energy flowing within you. Maybe a new idea surfaces out of the blue. The Page of Cups tarot card is asking you to spend some time thinking about what you want to do with this new idea. When talking about a person, the Page of Cups indicates a person with a great charm and natural modesty. Generally has a gentle, quiet, and calm personality who truly wants to help in any way they can with care and love. In a literal sense, the Page of Cups can indicate that you will receive an unexpected and pleasant surprise. Pages are often known as the messenger cards, and with the Page of Cups, you may receive a message related to emotions, intuition, or creative endeavors. The Page of Cups is encouraging you to be a child at heart. Listen to your emotions and let them flow. Don't be afraid to let your imagination run wild once in a while. If you stop dreaming, it might be hard to ever accomplish what you want. Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups tarot card depicts an armored knight sitting on a white horse with a golden cup in his hand in front of him, as if offering it to someone. Over his armor, the knight wears a cloak covered with images of fish, the symbol of water. His helmet and boots are winged. The horse in the Knight of Cups is not charging forward, but instead moves slowly, giving a feeling of calmness. The background is mostly barren, except for some trees far away and the river that flows through. Some people view the Knight of Cups as your prince or princess charming, your knight in shining armor, and your ultimate lover. But it goes beyond that. As with all court cards in the minor arcana, the Knight of Cups may reference an actual person or an idea. The Knight of Cups is a combination of action and creative energy. Where the Page of Cups is creative, the Knight of Cups takes that creativity and adds momentum and forward motion. The Knight of Cups is also the great romantic of the Tarot Knights, riding forwards holding his cup as if to make a romantic gesture. He's in touch with his emotional side, but also clear upon his course. But most importantly, the Knight of Cups represents the energy to turn creative ideas into reality. It channels creative energies into useful forms. The horse represents power, energy, and drive, and the white color is a symbol of purity, spirituality, and light. The Knight of Cups tarot card suggests that deep-seated emotional needs are about to be fulfilled. Old wounds can finally heal, and grudges can be put to rest. Other meanings for this card can indicate travel over water or approach and arrival to a new creative or emotional situation. The message here is to take action and follow your heart, whether you're falling in love with a person, a project, or an idea without fear or expectation. Queen of Cups. On the Queen of Cups tarot card, we see a woman sitting on a throne at the edge of the water. The throne is ornate and adorned with aquatic cherubs and a large seashell design. The watery pattern on her cloak blends into the waters at her feet, connecting her with the concept of water. Her cup is far more ornate than the cups used by every other card in the suit, including the king's. It's decorated with winged angels. Unlike all the other cups, hers is closed at the top, and it seems to contain something. The queen herself gazes intensely at the cup, as if she is seeing visions with it or communicating with something within. The Queen of Cups reflects the inner realm, where your intuition merges with your deepest feelings and desires. She represents a supportive and trustworthy person or energy, someone who gives birth to ideas and supports those of others. The Queen of Cups encourages to access your deepest feelings and to take care of them with tender love. When the Queen of Cups appears in a tarot reading, you are being asked to trust your intuition and pay attention to your feelings and emotions. Lead with your heart, not with your head. A Queen of Cups lies within each one of us. When she appears in reference to your own personality, it's a suggestion to think carefully about how you use your spiritual wisdom. She can be a sign that you should use your intuition to guide you. When referring about a person, this card can represent a powerful woman influential in your life, but also the embodiment of maturity, calmness, and sensitive energy. This card conveys the message of never leaving aside our intuitive capacity. Embody this energy by supporting people on an emotional level and show patience, understanding, and unconditional emotional support. King of Cups. This king represents the suit of cups and therefore the suit of emotion. He is the emotionally mature expression of the cups court cards. A king sits on a throne surrounded by a turbulent sea. A fish leaps out of the water and there's a ship in the distance. The king holds his scepter in one hand and a large cup on the other. A golden fish is suspended from a chain around his neck. The King of Cups is a card that symbolizes intelligence, diplomacy, kindness, tolerance, maturity, creative thinking, and wisdom. This card can represent the unity of your head and your soul. It's easy to mistake the King of Cups as a strong masculine energy card, but given that the Suit of Cups addresses emotions in general, it's actually a fairly balanced card. It has a lot to do with emotions, as well as its traits of generosity and emotional balance. When this card comes up in a tarot reading, it invites you to embody compassion and kindness. The king is strong and powerful, but he is aware of his feelings and the feelings of those around him. It's time to take control over powerful emotions with wisdom, leading your feelings to emotional maturity. The King of Cups suggests you need to remain emotionally mature when faced with negative energies from others. Be true to your emotions and feelings, not allowing the negative force of the turbulent seas to steer you off your course. The suit of Pentacles, also referred to as coins, deal with matters of the material and physical worlds. Pentacles are often misunderstood as only symbols of monetary and material matters, but they also speak of external situations like career, success, family, physical health, and creativity. In essence, it's related to all things that are matter, including nature and our body. The suit of Pentacles is associated with the element Earth, which is grounded, stable, supportive, and fertile. It's a receptive, feminine energy. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the suit of Diamonds. Pentacles tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles depicts a hand emerging from the clouds, like the aces of the other suits. A large coin sits in a cupped palm. The landscape in this card is lush and abounding, a garden brimming with green grass and white lilies. A small path leads to an archway, wrapped in a beautiful foliage and flowers, and beyond the arch, mountains in the horizon. The Ace of Pentacles, like the other aces of the tarot, represents new beginnings, opportunities, and potential. And with Pentacles, these new beginnings are related to the material world, finances, wealth, career, physical health, and overall manifestation of your goals. This is the seed to move forward with your earthly goals. The Ace of Pentacles encourages you to make the most of its potential and turn it into something meaningful. Two of Pentacles. In the Two of Pentacles, a young man is juggling two coins. An infinity symbol surrounds and connects the coins. In the background, two ships sail on huge waves, going up and down in the sea. This card is all about finding balance and juggling the ups and downs that occur in one's life. Despite all the chaos that surrounds him, the character handles all with joy and grace. But it's also a warning to keep the balance between completing the tasks at hand, meeting your obligations, and keeping control with focus and attention. This card asks, how is your awareness to the concept of balance and those parts of your life where you have it? While you can strive for balance, nothing ever stays in perfect harmony. It's suggesting you that you can and must handle problems as long as you manage your resources, time, and energy well. Three of Pentacles. The card depicts a young apprentice standing on a bench. He looks back at two men, a priest and a nobleman. The two men are listening to the stonemason. It looks like he is discussing his project. The body language of the two men shows us that they value his opinion and expertise. The Three of Pentacles in tarot stands for teamwork, planning, and competence. The Three of Pentacles highlights your unique skills as they relate to a wider group. This card asks you how you can bring your skills and goals together with other people in order to create something great. It's also the value of different ideas and levels of experience in collaboration. This card is a celebration of community effort and teamwork. Four of Pentacles. This card depicts a man who is sitting on a stool, holding pentacles in a very tight posture. One pentacle is balanced on his crowned head, another one is tightly clutched between his own hands. There are also two more of them securely placed underneath his feet. The sky is a monochrome gray, and behind him, on the background, is a view of a city. This card can go two ways. It's either about greed or it's about self-care. Either way, it's focused on self. When the Four of Pentacles is upright in a tarot reading, it means that you need to be careful about the level of control that you are trying to exert. Some control is necessary in most situations, and you need to be firm when a situation becomes chaotic. This is true for the material world. At the same time, he is also unable to move because he is holding the coins so tightly. In other words, he is restrained from acting because he is holding on too tight to his possessions. Five of Pentacles. In the Five of Pentacles, two people walk outside while snowing. One man looks injured and on crutches, while the other has only a thin shawl covering its head, walking barefoot in the snow. There is a black wall on the background with a stained glass window featuring 5 pentacles, suggesting a church of some kind. The 5 of Pentacles is not a great card to get as it represents hardship, rejection, or a negative change in circumstances. It represents sickness, poverty, and general struggle. The 5 of Pentacles can represent several kinds of lack. First, there is poor health. This card can be a signal that you are neglecting the needs of your body. You are moving away from complete physical well-being, so you must take steps to discover and correct the problem. This card can also be a sign of material and economic setbacks. The 5 of Pentacles can also represent rejection or lack of acceptance. Being rejected can mean physical hardship as well. The 5 of Pentacles relate to the material lack, but it also has a spiritual side. From the stained glass window, it seems these 2 figures are outside of a church or shelter. Comfort is close at hand. Whenever you experience hardship, know that it's only temporary. Look for the spiritual center that will take you in and give you shelter. 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles shows a man nicely dressed in a red robe, handing out coins to 2 beggars who are kneeling at his feet. In his left hand, he's holding a balanced scale. The 6 of Pentacles is a card of giving and receiving. Sometimes you are on the giving end, and other times you are on the receiving end. It's a constant cycle in life, and this card is a reminder that the balance can change at any time. This is not just about sharing material goods, but also sharing your time, resources, compassion, and encouragement to those in need. Sometimes these are almost as emotionally rewarding, if not more. The 6 of Pentacles also talks about dynamics in relationships. It asks you to consider the balance within your relationships. Are you the person who is always giving, or the one who takes and takes? Take a look at the balances and imbalances within your interactions. Finally, the 6 of Pentacles is a card representing financial harmony. Always be thankful for what you have and share it with others in need. The good advice of the 6 of Pentacles is to believe that any gift you make is appreciated and will return to you greatly. Seven of Pentacles. In the 7 of Pentacles, a man is gazing down at his crop. He is taking a break from his hard labor to admire the fruit in his garden. He is leaning over his gardening tool with a pensive face. He doesn't look happy nor sad, but contemplating the fruits of his efforts. When this card appears in a tarot reading, see it as an invitation to step back from your daily routine and look at the bigger picture. It's time for evaluation, growth, and gain. Success comes from hard work and patience, but this card reminds you to take care, not to overdo and exhaust yourself in the process. You also want to make sure you're focusing your energy on the right areas instead of wasting time and efforts on things that will not deliver any value. Celebrate what you achieve and evaluate in which direction you want to go. 8 of Pentacles. On the 8 of Pentacles, we see a young man hammering a coin. He has finished 7 and is working on number 8 while being totally focused with the task on hand. With a town on the background, he seems to be at a far distance, isolated from others. The 8 of Pentacles is sometimes named the Apprentice card because he is still learning and mastering his trade. The essence of this card is mastery. It's hard work and attention to detail. This requires great diligence and focus. 8 is the number of mastery and accomplishment. It's a very positive symbol, especially if you're trying hard to master a new skill. Unlike most of other Pentacle cards, this card does not only imply financial gain, it signifies pride in one's work and life purpose. The message of the 8 of Pentacles is, carefully planned activities are key of success. Practicing makes perfection. Dedication to your plans and intentions will bring the results. Take care not to get lost in the details, failing to observe the whole picture. 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles shows an elegant woman standing in a vineyard or garden. She is wearing a long, luxurious golden robe and a red headpiece. The vines behind her are heavy with grapes and golden coins. A falcon is sitting peacefully on her left hand. The vines behind her are rich and filled with grapes and many golden coins. Her right hand rests upon one of the coins as her fingers are touching the purple grapes on the vine. In the background is a large house. We can assume it belongs to the woman herself. 9 of Pentacles suggests achievement, reward, abundance, success, and financial stability. When the Nine of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, it's an invitation to enjoy the rewards of the fruits of your labor. If you're not there yet, it suggests that you can be there soon with efforts, self-confidence, and discipline. You have already achieved so much, and while you may not be at the finish line yet, this is your opportunity to acknowledge your achievements and re-energize yourself for the final phase. Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles shows a white-haired man wearing an embroidered robe, sitting with his two white dogs at his feet in front of an archway. A younger couple stands nearby with a small child. On the archway are flags, looking like a rich heritage and family history. Behind the couple shows a big tower, and overall appears that this family is in the courtyard of a big mansion or a castle. Their wealth goes beyond the material comfort. The man and his family have a deeply rooted connection to their lineage, home, and community. The Ten of Pentacles represents material success and healthy family relationships. It suggests a tight and close family unit. If we take a look, the environment shows a lot of wealth and prosperity. The old man shows the heritage and family values that he has passed to the next generations. The family getting together shows binding and happy times. The dogs are faithful domestic animals and shows loyalty and care in the family for each. Kids represents your ambitions and dreams and things you look ahead in your life. The big mansion with the tower indicates security and safety. This card can also suggest care of an elderly parent or relative. The Ten of Pentacles urges you to consider the many uses of wealth, both spiritual and material, not only to you, but to your family unit and the next generation, and those loved ones by you, so they might gain as much growth as you have, assuring the future success and well-being of those we care for. Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles depicts a young man standing in a field of blooming flowers. There's a mountain range in the horizon, representing upcoming challenges and obstacles. The page holds a gold coin in his hand and examines it carefully, as trying to figure out how to manifest in reality its potential. When the Page of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you're tapping into your ability to manifest a personal goal or dream. You're excited about the possibilities and potential of what you put your mind to, knowing that you can create whatever you want with focus, intention, and action. It's an opportunity to start something new. The Page of Pentacles is not yet an expert, but has a clear goal and dream to achieve. But you must put in the work, and you must learn what is required to fulfill the goal. Since Pentacles rule the material realm and correspond to the element of earth, this page symbolizes awareness of the value of money, wealth, possessions, career, and physical health, and how to manifest more of these material blessings. That said, this page does not specify the fulfillment of dreams as much as the initial motivation and energy to begin the process of turning those dreams to reality. You need to put in place clear plans for achieving your dreams and goals. The Page of Pentacles often appears when you're ready to elevate your skills and learn something new so you can manifest your dreams. See this card as an invitation to try something new and discover another aspect of yourself. The more skills you master, the more goals and dreams you can achieve. The message of this card is, anything is possible, but you need to make it happen. Knight of Pentacles. A knight is mounted on a workhorse, holding a pentacle while looking at the horizon and the land. The horse is standing all 4 feet to the ground, symbolizing stability and connection to earth. This knight represents steady and practical progress. The Knight of Pentacles represents work, effort, and the responsibility that follows upon the dreams and ideals of the page. Out of all the knights in the tarot cards, the Knight of Pentacles is the most stable and secure. He is the only knight not charging his horse forward in a rush. The knight is seated, calm, still, and grounded. It represents a practical and dependable energy that will inspire you to always work hard to get what is wanted and needed. It's a stable character who considers everything before acting. When this card appears in a tarot reading, it's inviting you to work methodically, consistent, dedicated, and committed to your goals. The message of this card is envision your goal, determine the best course of action, and follow a methodical plan with relentless focus to achieve your goals, and you will see imminent progress and success. Queen of Pentacles. On the Queen of Pentacles card, a beautiful dressed woman sits on an elaborate throne engraved with images of nature. Green fabric descends from her crown, all the way to the ground beneath her feet. The queen holds in contemplation a large pentacle coin in her lap. Behind the queen's head, we see a cherub, who also seems to be looking at the pentacle coin in the queen's lap. Surrounding her throne are plants and flowers. A rabbit is seen in the lower right of the card, signifying energy, fertility, and the queen's association with Mother Earth. In the far distance, we see mountains representing the challenge to face to get to this place of nature and serenity. The Queen of Pentacles is the nurturing energy of the material world that exudes care and compassion, and the embodiment of the Empress archetype. The card typically represents the dual ideals of prosperity and supportiveness. When the Queen of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, it's asking you to maintain a compassionate, nurturing, practical, and down-to-earth attitude when dealing with others and your circumstances. When referring to a person, the Queen of Pentacles is often a breadwinner or working parent. The Queen combines career and financial success with her natural supportive nature. At times, the Queen of Pentacles may represent a mother figure in your life who can provide you with loving support and nurturing to help you get through the influences of your past. When the Queen of Pentacles is not referring to a specific person, the card typically represents the dual ideals of prosperity and supportiveness. The message of this card is focus on creating a calm and balanced life for yourself. Be resourceful and practical. Effectively using your talents will lead you to success. Keep in mind your more practical behaviors and prosperity will find you. King of Pentacles. Under a golden sky sits a crowned king. His throne is adorned with carved motifs of bulls, representing his connection to the astrological sign of Taurus. Grapes and vines adorn his robe, symbolizing abundance and wealth. He holds a royal scepter in his right hand and displays a golden pentacle on his lap, held in place with his left hand. He looks forward in a state of meditation. In the distance is a castle, and around him are lush grapevines and leaves. The King of Pentacles represents material wealth, financial abundance, and worldly success. This king is a faithful provider. He uses his ambition and confidence to create wealth for himself and others. He is also a fatherly figure who provides others with advice, guidance, and wisdom, especially in wealth-related matters. When the King of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you are encouraged to find confidence and success at attracting and managing wealth. This card can mean achieving big successes or life-changing accomplishments in any area. However, it's also asking you, how are you investing in yourself to create long-lasting abundance and stability? The message of this card is, when you engage in purposeful efforts, you will obtain success, but also be a leader, provide, and help others find theirs. The Suit of Swords deals with the mental level of our consciousness that is centered around the mind and the intellect. Swords reflect our capacity of thinking, our logic, and the state of mind present in thoughts, intelligence, and communication. When a Swords card comes up in your tarot reading, take a closer look at your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. They deal with issues related to decisions, communication, reasoning, ideas, and inspiration. They suggest choices that are being made with the head over the heart. The Suit of Swords is associated with the element of air. Air is invisible, but also fluid and in constant movement, as gentle as breeze or forceful as stormy winds. It all relates to knowledge, action, power, and change. It's a masculine energy that can lead by force and power, even though it remains unseen. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Spades. Swords cards represent the astrological signs of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords card shows a hand emerging from the clouds wielding a double-edged sword. This double-edged sword carries a golden crown while being encircled by a wreath. The sword stands floating, and on the background we see mountains, which are used as symbols of the vast reach that swords can go. The crown is used as a symbol for power, and the wreath is associated with victory, success, and achievement. As an ace, this card represents the beginning of a journey. The Ace of Swords marks a wave of new energy from the intellectual realm. This card is a sign of encouragement. It says your mind is in expansion mode. You're open to embracing new ideas, inspiration, original thinking, and vision, and you're excited to pursue new opportunities that draw upon your mental and intellectual abilities. When the Ace of Swords appears in a tarot reading, it tells you that now is an excellent time to start a new project, one that requires your intellect, communication skills, and mental power. But also, consider that the sword is a double-edged blade, implying that it can both create and destroy. The message of this card is clear. With power comes responsibility. It will be up to you how to leverage the opportunity for the greater good. You will need a strong heart and mind to see how to best use your power for the service of others and yourself. Two of Swords. The Two of Swords tarot card depicts a blindfolded woman dressed in a white robe. She is seated and holding two identical crossed swords in her hands. Behind the woman is a body of water with rocky islands. Above her is the moon in crescent face. The Two of Swords denote a crossroads or stalemate. It appears whenever you're facing a difficult decision in your life. The blindfold over her eyes tells us that the power of the mind is not limited to sight. She turns inwards to her thoughts and beyond them. It's about shouting out distractions and aligning voices inside your own mind. The rocks in the water behind the woman represent the obstacles that must be faced. The water represents the emotions, and while the Suit of Swords traditionally associates with the mind and intellect, the presence of water shows that the woman must use both her head and her heart to weigh her options. The crescent moon up above, it's still in its growth phase and symbolizes growth and going throughout a cycle, just like the blindfolded woman going through a process of decision-making. The Two of Swords comes as a reminder that many of life's decisions are difficult ones and rarely come with clear-cut answers. This is an invitation to make your choices with your best intentions, fully aware of possible consequences. Use your mind and intellect and pair them with your heart and intuition to choose the path that is most in alignment with your higher self. Three of Swords. The depiction of the Three of Swords tarot card is simple, yet so powerful. It illustrates a floating heart pierced by three swords. In the background, we see dark clouds and a heavy downpour of rain. The Three of Swords signifies a sudden and unexpected blow to emotions. The heart pierced by the three swords represents the pain inflicted by words, actions, or intent by emotional and possibly physical hurt. The dark clouds in the background mirror this pain, but offer the hope that just as the storm clouds will disappear, so too will the pain and hurt you're experiencing. When the Three of Swords turns up in a tarot reading, it signals a feeling of deep hurt and disappointment pierced by the sharp blades of hurtful words, actions, and intentions, and they have inflicted intense emotions of pain, sadness, grief, and heartbreak. These events are often unexpected and come out of the blue, making them even more painful. The Three of Swords comes as a reminder that pain, sorrow, and grief are a necessary part of life. Without pain, you can never experience the challenges you need to grow and develop as a person. However, this is also a card of resilience. The clouds will dissipate, and soon you will have a better perspective of what you can learn from the experience. The heart does not truly break, but mends itself. We carry in our own hearts the scars of all kinds of pain, but we are still here. Our hearts are still beating. Four of Swords. The Four of Swords tarot card depicts the carved image of a man lying on a tomb. His hands are pressed together as if he is praying, and his expression is serene. Above him hangs three swords, and the fourth sword is carved into the front of his resting place. In the background, we see a stained glass depicting a woman and a child. The Four of Swords tarot card stands for the need to rest, contemplation, and quiet time. All the sword cards represent some form of trials and challenges, and on this card, the challenge is to try to remain quiet, to rest, and recharge. The coffin in the Four of Swords does not symbolize death, but a period of going within. The lid is open, and it seems to be empty. When the Four of Swords appears in a reading, it suggests a period of mental downtime. As with all the cards in the Suit of Swords, this moment won't last forever. so it's important to use this time wisely. The main idea of this card is take time and space for yourself. It's important to take a step back, reevaluate your life, gather strength, and focus your energy before facing the next challenge. Pausing, calming, and resting in this instance is the wisest way to promote a better self. Five of Swords. In the Five of Swords card, a man picks up 3 swords from the ground. He glances over his shoulder at 2 men who are walking away, conveying a sense of sadness and loss. We can see 2 more swords across the grass, suggesting a battle has been fought and lost. The sky is cloudy and tumultuous, a sign that not all is well, even though the fighting has stopped. The Five of Swords represent conflict or tension between individuals, which, if not resolved, is a loss scenario for everyone involved. This card symbolizes loss, betrayal, weakness, and ultimately, it describes that something must be let go in order to move forward. This card can also show intimidation by a bully, a person who gains self-worth by oppressing others verbally, physically, or emotionally. It shows us how ego can wreak havoc on our relationships and connections. Ultimately, the cause of this victory becomes clear. The advice of the Five of Swords is to pick your battles. Choosing your battles wisely is better than engaging in every disagreement. Not only will it lead to a more peaceful existence, but your interpersonal relationships are likely to come out stronger. Six of Swords. The Six of Swords shows a woman and a young child being rowed across a body of water. Under a gray sky, a ferryman steers a small boat toward a distant landscape. The woman is completely shrouded, hunched, and sitting next to a small child. 6 swords are stuck into the boat, pointing down. The guide stands behind them, stirring up the water as he slowly moves the boat into the horizon. The Six of Swords is heavy with thought and emotion. It shows us that it's a healing journey. It's a process of moving after a difficult time. They're tired, but wiser and stronger. Sad, but determined to start over. It represents overcoming obstacles and moving forward. The boat itself is significant too. It travels over water. Although this is a swords card concerned with our minds, there is an emotional journey happening too. To cross a body of water is symbolically to move forwards emotionally. There is a quiet, supportive sense of empowerment in this card. The Six of Swords invites you to let go of whatever is holding you back, be it from your past or your present circumstances. Instead, gaze ahead to your future and choose the way that aligns with your highest good and long-term potential. Make firm, tough decisions as a rite of passage towards a much better position in life. Don't dwell on what's left behind. Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords tarot card depicts a man sneaking away from a military camp with 5 swords in his hands while looking behind to check for any witnesses. In the background, 2 swords stand, indicating that this man has stolen the weapons that he possesses. The expression on his face is confident, knowing that he will not be caught. The Seven of Swords in most decks is often associated with cleverness at best and deception at worst. However, this does not need to be written off as a negative card. When harnessed positively, its energy can be subversive and entertaining, a much needed break from the seriousness of obligation. It reveals doing things your own way and abandoning group ideals. The Seven of Swords is seen as a card of saving yourself. This can have positive elements to it, as in many personal transformations, but it can be negative as well, revealing the core selfishness present in many of our decisions. There is also an element of haste in this card, an indicator of moving fast in a decision-making process. It might also suggest that you may need to put yourself first to get what you want, even if it means letting others down or putting others offside. The Seven of Swords could also imply that you are trying to escape from a situation that is not working for you anymore, rather than dealing with it head-on. A more negative interpretation of this card can reflect dishonesty, unclear motives, and a desire to evade duty or escape from conflict, whether real or imagined. The Seven of Swords is a card also concerned with poor effort on a task. The character is leaving 2 swords behind, not completing what he came to do. Paired with other cards, it can balance its meaning towards one side or the other. However, this is a card that asks you to look inward and examine your own behavior. 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords illustrates a blindfolded woman surrounded by 8 swords. Her arms are tied behind her and bound to her body. The swords around her seem to serve as a prison, but there is enough space in front of her to escape. It seems as if she is too focused on her painful situation, leaving her unable to perceive that there is a way out. The Eight of Swords in the upright position stands for feeling stuck in a repeated cycle or feeling bound by outside forces. Sometimes we feel restricted, entrapped, and being backed into a corner by circumstances, lost and confused, with no chance of help and relief. You might feel as if you are in an impossible situation. When you draw the Eight of Swords card, remember that choices are always available. Solutions may not come easily, but they do exist. All that is required is to take the first step towards a solution of clarity of thoughts. The essence of this card is, you are not a victim. Don't surrender your power to an external situation, allowing yourself to become trapped and limited in some way. Take back your power and personal accountability, and open your eyes to the options in front of you. You do have choices. You are not powerless. Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords tarot card depicts a man sitting on a bed with his face in his hands. On the wall behind him hangs 9 swords, aligned and mounted vertically. The man's shoulders are hunched downward, suggesting that he may have awoken from a nightmare or that he is crying into his hands. Below him, a carving of a person being defeated is engraved into his bed. The Nine of Swords is a card that represents recurring fears and worries. It symbolizes finding it difficult to look at a situation for what it truly is. It carries a feeling of victimization, self-defeat, deep unhappiness, stress, being overwhelmed, and burdened. When this card comes up in a tarot reading, look at your attitude when facing a given dilemma, one that worries you. You may also feel that there isn't much that you can do to fix your situation. This is not the case. Remind yourself that you can face anything and allow yourself time to deal with whatever you're currently going through. Look at the big picture and you'll see the situation from a different point of view. Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords shows a man lying face down, apparently dead, with 10 swords stabbed into his back. A red cape drapes over the lower half of his body. The dark sky breaks to show the sun of a new horizon. There is a calm body of water followed by mountains on the horizon. In the Ten of Swords, we're really getting to the highest climax point of what we've learned in the swords. The Ten of Swords marks a painful ending. It's the end of a cycle. It can't hurt you any further. As difficult as it is, whatever transpires now is forcing you to look into a new direction and towards a new dawn. It indicates facing a time during which there is a sense of defeat. This sense of failure will cause pain and sadness, but it's a necessary stage to close the cycle, so it can't hurt you any longer. The Ten of Swords is freedom. It's liberation. It's very uncomfortable, but it does invite us to welcome a new beginning. Respect the emotions of this moment. Denying its pain and sadness is denying yourself to complete the cycle that will enable you to grow. The hour is darkest before dawn, and you must experience the full impact of what has happened before you can move forward and start over. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords tarot card depicts a young character standing confident with a sword in hand, staring off into the distance with a proud expression while the sky above is turbulent and a strong wind blows over the branches of the trees behind. Although a storm seems to be approaching, the page shows no fear. The Page of Swords stands confident and ready to take on anything in the way. When this card shows up in the reading, it's an encouragement to seek out new experiences and to take risks. The Page of Swords signals a new perspective or direction. This page has a new vantage point. As the swords relate to communication, the Page of Swords suggests that you are exploring a different way of expressing yourself with others and communicating your ideas and opinions with a new sense of direction, idealism, and enthusiasm. This card encourages you to start anew in mental pursuits, mental health, and communication, without needing external validation to do it. You're being called to embody the lessons you've learned and lean into your curiosity to make it happen. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords rides confidently and swiftly into battle on his strong white horse. The sky behind him indicates a storm is coming, but he has no fear. He pushes forward with courage and optimism, ready to fight anything that gets in his way. This knight is forceful, assertive, and is often seen as being rash and impulsive. If you get the Knight of Swords in a tarot reading, it might suggest you to make a quick decision and take immediate action to make a matter in question to happen. Do it with an adventurous and passionate energy following your ideals. As with all knights of the tarot deck, the Knight of Swords represents an unstoppable energy, one which sets its mind on something. Since the swords represent intellect and mental processes, the card indicates the use of thinking skills to move ahead in life. The message of this card is, set intensely all of your mind to what you want to achieve, and you will be able to seize it. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords sits on an ornate throne, looking off into the distance. The double-edged sword in one hand is pointed towards the sky, while the other hand is extended out, offering her support and advice. The Queen of Swords appearing in a tarot reading doesn't necessarily have to refer to a person. It might be posing traits of the Queen of Swords and their use in your own life. As an influence, the personality of the Queen of Swords combines the positive air energy of the sword suit with inward focus of a queen. The Queen of Swords is intuitive, wise, and a quick thinker. She embodies the energy of someone who reasons clearly and masters handling their emotional state. This queen can represent a man or a woman who is like her, or an atmosphere of honest, direct communication. This card could be about a person who has experience, knowledge, is wise, and reputable. Often represents an older woman, such as a mother or a grandmother. The queen is aware of both her thoughts and emotions. She doesn't just move with her heart, she thinks things through. The Queen of Swords encourages you to look at all the facts and puzzle pieces before making a decision. The message of this card is, you are strong and powerful. Follow your intuition, guided by your wisdom. This will allow you to evolve to higher levels in life. King of Swords. The King of Swords tarot card depicts a king sitting on his throne with a double-edged sword standing upright in his hand. His expression is calm and serious, reflecting his calm demeanor and his qualities of logic, strong morals, and fairness. The King of Swords embodies the theme of the entire suit of swords: action, decisions, and swift movement. The King of Swords is a leader with a strong mind and an air of authority, rational, values-oriented, and undeniable intelligence. This energy is methodical, devoted, and prefer the abstract over the messiness of everyday life. They judge appropriately, using honesty to gain the respect of others. He uses intellect to understand the world around him. He follows with his head over his heart, using logic and truth to gain wisdom. If the King of Swords appears in a reading, he serves as a reminder to use your head when making important decisions. Tap into your intellect and mental skills to figure out the truth of a situation. In its core, it represents stability that comes from the ability to judge things. Look to embody these qualities one day at a time. Become more assertive. Understand what you want from life, and you can become a stronger and more structured being. The Suit of Wands deals with the action level of our consciousness that is centered around inspiration, passion, courage, and drive. Wands reflect our willpower, creative potential, and can suggest themes of projects, inspiration, and drive. When a Wands card comes up in a tarot reading, take a closer look at your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. They deal with issues related to purpose, will, and a sense of meaning in your life, seeking to understand more about what motivates and energizes you. The Suit of Wands is associated with the element of fire. Fire is a masculine energy, which is hot, wild, unpredictable, and energetic. It can be both creative or destructive. Fire is symbolic of passion, energy, enthusiasm, and sexuality. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Clubs. Wands tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Ace of Wands. Against a silver sky, a cloud hovers over a lush landscape. From this cloud appears a hand holding a wand. Energy emanates from the hand. The landscape has trees and a castle off on a hill in the distance. Like all aces, the Ace of Wands brings a positive message for your present and future, symbolizing a moment that will change everything for the better. Wands represent the element of fire in tarot, so this ace is like the first spark of something. It's life force, spirit, and positive motion, inviting you to get started. You have amazing potential to manifest something new at this time, and you have everything you need to make any new venture work. The fields are lush and green around you. The sprouting wand and the fertile landscape in the background are all positive indications that this idea has the potential to turn into something fulfilling and energizing. The castle in the distance can represent success or the stability and security you need to move forward with your idea. There may be, however, some obstacles along the way, but keep your goal in sight. Don't let this castle fade away in the distance. Regardless of what obstacles you may come across, your path will reach your goal if you keep working towards it. The Ace is one of the most powerful and pure card of each tarot suit. When your reading includes the Ace of Wands, a moment of bold expansion is marked. It's an opportunity, but nothing is guaranteed. Your presence and energy are required to take this further. You're being asked to work with this energy in a new way, but there's only real potential here. It's up to you to make it happen. Two of Wands. A man in a red and orange colored clothing is standing at the battlement of a castle, looking into the distance. In one hand, he holds a globe, and on his other hand, he embraces one of the two wands in the card. He looks like he is planning something. The wand he is holding is unfortified and free, while the other is affixed to the wall in the building. Unlike the Ace of Wands, which indicates that it's time for you to trust your intuition and the start of something new, the Two of Wands card tells you that it's time to place your future in your own hands. When you pull this card upright, it represents the planning stages of an idea. You hold the potential of the world in your hands. What are you going to do with it? At this time, you're looking at your options and you're weighing them carefully. It's not yet time to make your move. Number 2 indicates decisions that need to be made, but also, like the differences with both wands, they represent opposing forces. The Two of Wands can appear in situations when you plan on doing something with opposing routes to get to it. At this stage, it could be the case that you will still have doubts and don't know how to proceed. There might be things that hold you back, but on the other hand, there is enthusiasm too, making you wonder if you should actually take action or not. This is a card of personal freedom and choice. The Two of Wands represents two paths, and you have the ability to choose. This is not a card about sitting still. This is a card about planning and moving forward. You've achieved success so far in what you're doing, but it's time to move forward and step out of your comfort zone. Three of Wands. The Three of Wands shows a man standing with his back to us, gazing out to a sun-golden sea. He is dressed in robes and is staring out over a wide open space. He can see everything from this vantage point. Ahead of him, we see land, but between the man and the ground, there is a golden sea. The man seems to be both grounded and ready to set out on an adventure. The Three of Wands is about action. The necessary preparation is done, and now it's time to go. This is a good time to feel good and optimistic about the strength to do things and see it through. This card can also represent travel, freedom, and adventure. This travel can be literal, but also metaphorical. Rather than going anywhere, you may be asked to widen your horizons. No matter the case, remember, fortune favors the bold. It also warns you not to react imprudently to the heat of the moment. If needed, step back and reconsider. See how the present fits into the greater picture. This card asks you to be a visionary, to dream beyond your current limitations. When we see far, we have the knowledge to guide us better into the future. When you see the Three of Wands, know that now is the time to accept your vision and be confident that you can lead your life to it. Four of Wands. The Four of Wands tarot card depicts a wreath of flowers adorning four identical wands in the foreground. The wands are equally spaced in the shape of a canopy. In the background, we see what appears to be a gathering, with two people with flowers in their hands having a celebration. Their arms are raised in the air as if they're feeling triumphant, celebrating something. Additionally, they are close to one another, which indicates that there is a close relationship between them. When the Four of Wands appears in a reading, it often signals a time of celebration, a time to rejoice and to be reminded of the support and security of knowing that there are people in your life that care about you. Sometimes, this card can literally signify a celebration, like a gathering with friends or another social event. But in simple terms, this card refers to having fun and enjoying yourself fully and without restrictions. On a more general level, this card refers to celebration as a state of mind, of having a sense of optimism, happiness, and joy, one where we feel free of restrictions and unbound by any limitations, an attitude of enthusiasm and faith in what the future holds for us. The number 4 indicates a secure, stable state and conveys a sense of accomplishment. The 4 of Wands represents the achievement of little goals, stable states, and a stable foundation. It can appear in situations when you have worked for something and now you can sit back for a while and enjoy your achievement. The 4 of Wands tells you that after a period of growth and expansion of the 3 of Wands, it's time to celebrate what you have achieved so far. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Acknowledge your hard work and give yourself permission to take a break before stepping onto the new phase of your journey. Another meaning of this card is getting together with people. It can be a representation of meeting friends, socializing, and celebrating. The essence of this card is the time has come for you to let go of those ideas that tie you up and restrict your freedom, to be reborn to a life of greater harmony, knowledge, and happiness. Embrace a new attitude of optimism and love for one another and towards yourself. Five of Wands. The 5 of Wands depicts 5 men waving their sticks in a chaotic way, engaged in a playful struggle, although it seems they are in competition and dominance as they threaten one another with their wands in a combative stance. But the wands do not yet clash, and no one is being physically struck. However, if you look closely, they just raise the stick up rather than fight. The number 5 indicates movement and conflict. After the stable state represented by the 4 of Wands, there comes some change and movement again. The 5 of Wands is a card of conflict, tension, competition, and clashes of ego. When this card appears upright in a reading, it calls attention to a level of disharmony. You may be engaged in mental or physical conflict with yourself and different emotions, or with those around you. The 5 of Wands reminds us that conflict is a part of life. Conflict can't be avoided. Sooner or later, we have to deal with it. It's not conflict itself that causes issues, but how we handle it. We can choose to do this with hostility, or we can choose to do this with grace, kindness, and a common sense approach to the situation. Allow the powerful energy of this card to drive your very best. It may not be easy, but we will find often that it has been worth it. 6 of Wands. In the 6 of Wands tarot card, a man is riding a white horse. He wears an orange-colored cape and has a victory laurel on his head. The well-dressed man holds a wand, also decorated with a wreath, and appears above the other characters depicted in the card. He is the center of attention, and the other characters walk beside him. They appear to be celebrating him. The 6 of Wands is the minor arcana counterpart of the Chariot. Both of these cards represent movement, moments of victory and triumph, and the respect one earns after achieving something. Furthermore, it's not necessary dominance over something or someone external. You can triumph over yourself, the environment, or the odds. The 6 of Wands also represents a healthy self-esteem. Feeling good about your accomplishment is an important part of success. You're constantly learning to harness your strengths. Nothing can stop you from reaching your objectives. But underlying this apparent meaning, there's a message of taking action towards what you're looking for. This card advises you to keep on moving in the right direction until you reach your goal. You can take control of any situation and lead your way towards victory. 7 of Wands. On the 7 of Wands, a young man stands near a small mountain cliff and appears to be under attack. He wards off 6 wands with one that he holds in his hands. His gaze is fixed upon the sticks. His facial expression is full of seriousness and defiance. He is clearly outnumbered, but he holds the high ground and has the advantage of elevation. Holding his wand with 2 hands, he appears to be acting defensively rather than attacking. His feet are widely spaced, giving him as much balance as he can hope for on the rocky hilltop. Each wand shooting up from the ground in front of him is a different length. They are also pointing in different directions. When the 7 of Wands appears in a tarot reading, it may be seen as referencing an active defense. In other words, stand up and fight for what's yours. Hold your ground, and even if the opposition seems greater than you. In most cases, it can mean feeling overwhelmed by a current struggle. It's a card of real fighters and warriors. The energy of this card is amazing. Every movement of the body and coherence of thoughts is the only key of future victory. The message of this card is, there may be internal or external challenges on the fulfillment of your goals. You must remain committed in your desires, and with a vision and effort, you will conquer them. Hold your ground no matter what is challenging your position. Eight of Wands. On the Eight of Wands, a flight of wands hurtles speedily towards a destination. Like a wave of arrows shot by archers, 8 wands fly from above, racing towards the ground. In the background, we see a perfectly clear blue sky. Lower on the card, we see an equally perfect, lush green landscape dotted with trees. A small house on the fertile hillside, symbolizing stability, effective planning, and a successful response to past challenges. In the foreground, a straight blue river flows through the landscape, matching the smooth forward trajectory of the wands. Unlike many other landscape cards in the minor arcana, there are no gray mountains visible in the background. The tranquility of the scene suggests that there is little resistance to movement here. The only pure speed and uninterrupted motion matters here. The Eight of Wands references speed, momentum, and pure forward energy. It represents a continuation of direction and an accelerated approach towards an already defined goal. As the card image illustrates, these wands are already moving. Their direction is clear. When the Eight of Wands appears in a reading, the chosen course of action is correct, but the time and speed are of essence. Generally speaking, the Eight of Wands is an extremely positive card. It indicates a clear path forward, but the card also carries a direct message. The path forward needs to be taken earnestly, and time should not be wasted. Nine of Wands. In the far distance lie rolling hills and mountains. A figure stands in front of a barrier made of 8 wands while holding a 9th wand. He has a wound on his head and looks weary in some way. This is a card of survivors, those who have been through some rough experiences but who've learned from it. You can tell the figure has seen many battles and is ready to do so again. This card also tells you to be watchful. Trust your instincts or experiences. It signals that you may be exhausted or burnt out. However, you're ready to do whatever it takes to power through. But the main lesson of the Nine of Wands teaches is perseverance. Despite his fears and injuries, the Nine of Wands character is still willing to keep going. He knows the path ahead is a difficult one, but he is willing to keep fighting. Ten of Wands. A man holding a heavy bundle of 10 long sticks is walking towards a house afar. The sticks are fanned out in proper order, ascending above him. His head seems to be buried in the middle of the bundle. His bent posture reveals what an immense burden the sticks are for him. Despite this, he holds them tightly and walks with purpose. There are some lush trees and a few more houses near his dwelling. The sky is clear blue, predicting a perfect day. The Ten of Wands tarot card is all about hard work and perseverance in the face of a burden. You may have been working towards a goal for a long time and you're finally starting to see some results. However, this is not the time to lose sight of the goal. You need to continue working hard in order to achieve anything you want. Page of Wands. The Page of Wands tarot card is depicted as a character in fine-looking clothes, standing in the middle of a vast and barren desert while clutching a long wand, gazes at it with confidence. The Page of Wands is a card of energy, enthusiasm, and adventure. It suggests that real chances to experience creativity, courage, charm, and inspiration are opening, challenging you to be great. When you see such an indication, you should always act on it. Sometimes, the Page of Wands implies that your entire situation embraces a spirit of excitement and adventure. Feel free to express your individuality and power with light-hearted abandon. If referring to a person, it can stand for a young at heart whose interactions with you involve independence, high energy, risky behavior, or shared enthusiasms. A person with a Page of Wands traits likes to take many risks while being brave and courageous. Moreover, such a person is also confident of jumping into something with no fears. When the Page of Wands appears upright in a reading, it's time to look towards the future, to embrace his energy and to jump into your passions. Something is calling you, be it a spiritual path or a creative one. But it's time to manifest and create. Go beyond any doubts or any limits. Knight of Wands. In this card, we see an arid desert landscape in the background, an expanse of dry sand, and 3 imposing pyramids to our left. Directly in front of us, we see a brightly dressed young man. In his right hand, instead of a sword, this warrior is holding a wand. In the left hand, there are the reins of his horse, which is excited and rearing for action. The Knight of Wands also wears a shining suit of armor and helmet decorated with extravagant orange feathers. His yellow tunic is covered with salamanders. The look on his face is both determined and self-assured. It's pretty clear that the knight and his horse are ready for action. While the Page of Wands marks the initial spark of a new idea, the Knight of Wands tarot card denotes the actual pursuit of this idea with energy and determination to see them materialize. It's the card that inspires energy, action, adventure, passion, impulsiveness, and boldness. It's about being wild and brash, being high-spirited and determined. If the Knight of Wands card represents a person, this is someone who prefers action over thinking. Sometimes, this means that it's an energy too impulsive for its own good. On the other hand, he is becoming more in tune with his instincts, and they are getting better at leading him in the right direction. The Knight of Wands tarot card encourages you to begin projects with enthusiasm and power. But also, you need to have a realistic view and, more importantly, a well thought out plan. Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands shows a woman sitting on a throne with lions on its back. The queen is wearing a golden outfit. On the background, a desert, often depicted on wand cards. This was the same landscape for the Page and Knight of Wands. Deserts are associated with spiritual awakenings, or places where you find inspiration. Personifying the waters and the element of fire, the Queen of Wands has a similar combination of elements as the Knight of Cups. These are combining opposing elements when neither of the contrasts can overcome the other, thus having an unstable balance between them. As a queen, she is the mother of the element, the emotion and sensitivity, thus having her attributes of love, understanding, and sympathy. Her fiery character provides pride, passion, inspiration, powerful independence, charisma, strength, and expansiveness. Since the Queen of Wands is a face card, she can also signify a person. She can be a mature feminine energy who is independent, friendly, charming, active, and passionate about what she does. The Queen of Wands asks you to be bold in your undertakings and actions. Don't be afraid of your own real power and put it into the world. You have so much to offer, so shine your light bright. Believe in yourself and what you stand for, and don't be afraid to speak up and be heard. King of Wands. Often associated with the astrological sign of Sagittarius, the King of Wands signifies a wise, open, positive, and adventurous masculine energy. A king-like figure sits on a cloth-covered throne that rests on a gray stone platform, holding in one hand a long wooden stick made from a tree branch and resting the other at his side. He is dressed in a bright orange robe with a golden crown shaped like small flames on his head. He wears a mustard-colored cape that flows down, covering the throne. The King of Wands card combines the realm of the passions and mental force. A natural-born leader, this creative king is always solving problems through innovation. He always has a clear purpose and direction despite having all the energy of a glowing wildfire. But his biggest strength is that he is able to see situations from all angles. He can create visionary solutions by connecting dots that others will not necessarily string together. When the King of Wands shows up in a tarot reading, it suggests that it's time to step up, make a bold move, and be a leader. It's one thing to be wildly creative, but it's another to turn your ideas into something meaningful. The essence of this card is to lead your life with intent, vision, and a long-term view. Act like a leader in a situation. Keep a cool head and keep your goal in mind without having distraction feelings that derail your way. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics.